Hello. Had some lunch earlier, but it wasn't very satisfying, so I went and bought a fish. It's just started raining. I'm going to cook in a kind of Chinese style, I think, that I've seen it before, where you basically steam the fish and then you put like a hot oil over the top of it at the end. But rather than hot oil, I'm going to use beef fat, and I'm going to use this thing, which is called a Flambadou. You heat it up in the coals, then once it's completely red hot, you put in some kind of animal fat. So you could use compound butter, or lamb fat's really good with things like oysters. In this case, I'm going to use beef fat because I've got some in the freezer. So that's another test. I'm going to see if that works from the freezer. Right, it's coming down now, so I'm going to go inside and do some prep. See you in a bit. So these are what's going to go on the fish once it's cooked. I was going to grill it on the little chimney topper, but what I could also do is, I kind of think maybe just going to steam it actually, because I want the taste of the aromatics to be the main thing, rather than, and the beef fat of course from the Flambadou, rather than the char of the charcoal. Also, it means I can steam it inside, which is way easier. Bit of garlic. So the Flambadou is a really old piece of kit. There isn't loads of literature on it that I can find, but there's a couple of articles which basically say that it came around in sort of medieval France, where they'd basically be spit roasting large joints of meat throughout the day on the open fires that they had in every kitchen. And they would have this Flambadou, this thing, like lying in the embers throughout the day. And they would periodically like chuck lumps of fat in it and then pass it over the top of the meat to baste it, as you would, you know, by butter basting or getting a roast out of the oven and, you know, spooning over some of that fat on there. So ginger. Most of the time I don't really bother peeling it if I'm like grating it into a curry or something, because I feel like that fiber's pretty quite good for you. And look, when you like ferment ginger, you want to leave it on because there's all the sort of probiotics in the skin. So mostly just my laziness, but I also kind of think that probably a good thing to leave it on. But not in this case, because this is kind of all about fresh flavors. Matchstick these up. You want it to be fairly thin so that the oil can actually kind of, or the fat even, can kind of actually penetrate and do a tiny bit of cooking, so you're not just eating completely raw ginger. Same with the garlic, similar kind of size, little matchsticks. Just want kind of strands of a similar diameter. Alright, and I think some chilli as well. So I got these guys from Sainsbury's. Thought they look alright. Wipe it down a bit. I think I'll slash the skin a bit. Stuff her in. And then Google how long fish takes to steam, because I have no idea. I'm guessing about 10 minutes. So here's my beef fat. Got the feeling that this might not work very well. I'll give it a case of this. Cleave it up. I'll try some different thicknesses. Probably just do the chimney, because I don't need that much coal for this. Run out of firelighters, so I've got a little oily tissue here. Pretty webby in there. No chance to get out. That'll burn for about 10 minutes probably. Plenty of time to get this going. According to Google, I'm going to be aiming for about 62 or 3 degrees on this. Okay, we're way over. Excellent. Nice. All I'm going to do is just load this up with a load of aromatics, and then we'll head outside with our Flambadou. In you go. Check back in a minute. Not sure if you picked that up, but it's glowing at the bottom. So we've got our little cubes of beef fat. Our steamed fish. Okay, there you go. Smells pretty amazing. Just burn my thing. Beef fat's like melded in with all the fish juices at the bottom. Looks pretty good. Just realised I didn't salt this. A little soy. Don't very salt it out. Smoked salt. That's so good. It is delicious. It needs a lot of refinement, but concept works for sure. In the same way that basting an oyster or something, there's something about the kind of earthy quality of beef, particularly when you smoke it or you fire it like that. It takes on a nice smokiness, which works very well with seafood. These were
These were made famous more recently by this guy called Nicholas Ekstedt, who's a Swedish chef from Stockholm. And we actually made him a load of them for the launch of his London restaurant, Ekstedt at the Yard, Scotland Yard, the old Scotland Yard hotel, which was great. Really cool to be part of that project even a little bit. So if you've seen him and his famous beef tallow fired oysters, that's kind of the thing that really put these back on the map and got people talking about them again. So yeah, that's been good. We sold lots of them to people, to chefs around the country. Quite a niche product, but it's just a great thing to have kind of for a bit of theatre as well, if you're serving guests outside at a barbecue, basting everybody's food tableside just before services. It's great fun. So yeah, head over to the website if you want to give it a go. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.